Brenay Kennard, she should have been careful because she decided to take somebody's husband in the great state of North Carolina. And so it turns out there is a alienation of affection law in North Carolina, and she recently lost her case to the tune of $1.75 million. And just to add a little bit more context here, so basically, Brenay and her husband, by the name of Devin, was dating, or they were married, and they were hanging out with Devin's cousin by the name of Tim. And Tim and Akira was in a relationship. And later on, Akira found videos, which I don't understand folks leaving video evidence, but they found video evidence of them engaging in a long-term relationship from December and whatnot. And in the end, these two moved in together. She filed a lawsuit claiming humiliation, alienation of affection, and abandonment, and so forth. And she won. So my question for you guys, is this something that should still exist in 2025? And can you put a price on emotional betrayal? But more importantly, do you think these rulings actually protect marriage? Or is it to punish the woman? Because technically, the husband was the one who cheated. So why did she sue the woman for alienation of affection? But it doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, could this be a deterrent? What are you guys' thoughts?
It's definitely a deterrent. Anytime somebody hit your pockets, it's going to deter somebody. Somebody going to be like, ooh, I don't want that to happen to me. But is it avoidable? You know what I'm saying? Is it a risk that you could avoid? Yeah, if you like that one guy I saw on social media who has everybody sign NDAs, you know what I'm saying, for everything up front, even before they have sex or anything. Hey, we're going to go on a date, sign these NDAs, these agreements. If you get pregnant, he maps the whole thing out. If you're doing that, then maybe. But other than that, basically what it says is, if you're going to sleep with somebody, if you're going to be the side person, you need to go ahead and work it out where you can meet the wife. You know what I mean? Get out in the open. Get out in front of it. You know what I'm saying? Get a picture with a selfie. Boop. See, no, it ain't no problem. Because if you working on the back end and she can come back in later on when you get that man, when he finally leave her, do whatever, because you've been waiting on it or whatever, then you got problems, right? And he doesn't have to leave if y'all can work out the introductions. I know everybody's not poly, but everybody should be having conversations. Everybody should be communicating more. This is a problem of see, the way I understand it, he was staying with the chick while he was talking to the other chick that he ended up leaving with. So she had some great rights there. Now, the fact that she went for alienation of affection and didn't go for like the rent she paid or whatever, as a guy, I guess it'd make you, I'll be toxic. I guess it make you feel kind of good though, right? You're like, shit, girl, my love is worth 1.7. You know what I mean? Don't sleep on this shit. You know what I mean? I got $1 million love. So shout out for him, but everybody else, communicate better, people, because everybody in the butt. I think it's dangerous. But I think people gonna move how they move. So get some papers.
Yeah, I think this is really, really questionable. Again, it's like what I talked about earlier on the kind of criminalizing situationships. I thought that's what everybody wanted. Nobody wants to do poly, but nobody wants to be monogamous either. So here we are. I mean, the 1.75 million, the alienation of affection. She could have sued the husband. I guess maybe it doesn't work that way, but I think he's the one who knew he was married. So I think that's really kind of outdated. The whole, oh, I'm going to sue the Jezebel or the harlot because she broke up my family. My husband was an innocent victim, and she just got him with her feminine charm and feminine wiles, and now he just couldn't resist. I think that's some antebellum BS, and having this law. You know what would really be impressive? I would be okay with the alienation of affection law if it worked both ways. If she wasn't giving him the cheeks, that's alienation of affection. If you don't want to give me no buns tonight, cool. I'm gonna call my lawyer because I'm being alienated from affection. If it worked both ways, I wouldn't have a problem with it. But if one direction alienation of affection, got a problem with it. I just gotta stand on that. That's my take.
I'm trying to okay. I'm trying to work it out in my head because I feel like there's an easy way and there's a hard way. Pause if necessary, right?
A hard way.
Yes, I said pause. And you should say pause too, the way that you said the hard way, like the way you should
pause. Add that in there in post production.
I mean, because okay, y'all. Okay, I don't think that this. I don't know a lot about this law, but I'm going to assume that it's not gender based. And what I mean by that is, if the circumstances are such that a person that has close proximity to your relationship, and it can be proven that they have did things to lure or to take your partner away from you, In other words, alienate them affection-wise, right? Do you have a case there? Apparently, the state of, was it North Carolina, has such a situation to the point that there was a jury or a body that was convened for this, and they made this judgment, or, this happened legally and lawfully, right? So I get that we may not agree with it, but I'm always curious because I want to know, like, what's the circumstances that make sense. So from what I understand, this woman is a TikToker, right? I don't know. I mean, if 1.75 is not a small number. So are they alleging somehow that this woman who had influence as an influencer, who's making money, and she comes along into your husband's life, maybe through you, right? She wouldn't have had access to him otherwise. And then she uses her popularity to court your husband away from you, right? And apparently the state feels like if you can prove this out, then it's deserving of a financial award. Now, if it was a dude who was doing this, okay, cool. The problem is that maybe most dudes wouldn't be man enough to go through with it, right? Or maybe they'd feel like they're too man enough. Let me say it that way, right? You wouldn't sue the other nigga. Yo, man, if you took my bitch, I'm going to sue you.
I will see you in court, sir.
So y'all always want to do the this and that thing, but the truth is, if the law was like gender neutral, niggas just wouldn't do it. The same way niggas don't, report being abused. Niggas don't do a lot of things because we're men and we're not supposed to do a lot of things. So I don't think that's the fairest assessment, just in terms of trying to always go tit for tat, just because there's some things that I agree with or that I think most men agree with or won't do. So that's why it's unequal in that way. But, if you're talking about somebody who surreptitiously, who under the guise of your friendship, who, over time, methodically or whatever, you can prove it, that they worked on, they zeroed in. I mean, out of all the people in the world that Shorty could have got with, you had to get with her, man. You know what I'm saying? So even just aside from the lawsuit part, there's a questionable character part that I think sometimes is going to yield an outcome that you're going to have to pay for. And in this particular case, it took form of a lawsuit, which she lost. You know what I'm saying? I don't know the details of their relationship. I can only imagine if Shorty felt like, yo, you're my best friend, you're my homegirl, I'm telling you all my secrets, I'm letting you in on a relationship shit, and you're using that information against me, yada, yada, yada. I'm not mad at it, to be honest with you. I guess what I'm ultimately saying, I'm not mad at it, because I feel like if you can prove something in court, yada, 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 if you have something to lose, yada, 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 then you just got to be smart enough to move a certain type of way. And if you can get got like Shorty just got, then shit, I hope the dick was worth it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I think somebody mentioned it earlier, like if you're the guy, I feel great. You know what I'm saying? You want this dick so much that you risked 1.75. I mean, I feel like you're a broke person. This ain't for you. Like, what's the person going to sue you for? You know what I'm saying? You're a snap. Are you getting those payments now? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what are they going to get for you for real, right? But if you got 1.75, maybe you should be a little bit more picky and choosy about whose nigga you stealing. You know what I'm saying? Or maybe you can just find your own nigga. You know what I mean? But yeah, I ain't mad. I mean, I hear what y'all saying, but I ain't mad. I am not mad at all.